All right, so let's talk about Google Hangout etiquette. For the most part, there have been no problems with the actual Hangout etiquette, though I know that Miss Ford has run into a few problems with just kind of silly behavior, and she actually had to end one of her Hangouts because kids were acting as though they weren't in a classroom, right? And that they were doing things that the only true way to manage it was like, all right, we're done this, and we can't do it anymore. So now we can go into the back end of Google Hangouts as we can with all of the things that we give you, and search up to any sort of misbehavior, or we can kind of make tighter restrictions. And certainly, Mr. Perkins can be pulled in whenever there's kind of devious behavior as well, or behavior that's just not school appropriate. So always be aware of that, that we are still in school, that we are trying to manage a classroom where everyone's learning, and that we expect you to behave in a respectful manner that is as though you're in a classroom setting. Okay, now some specific things when it comes to Google Hangout, and that's kind of detailed in this paragraph right here, is that when we tell you to join on, we're giving you a specific time, because that's when someone who is on the other end, whether it's in Massachusetts or whether it's all the way out in Wyoming, that's the time that they've scheduled to come on. So it's important that you're showing up to those meetings. We're going to do on the Tuesday meetings a Kahoot beforehand to start things off. That will get people time to kind of come in. Miss Ford will be running that Kahoot, where I'll probably be kind of like talking with the person from the zoo first, just getting orientated to what the conversation is going to be, and then you'll all join on, and then we'll start up that conversation. But anyway, the Kahoot will be a way for you to kind of like get in there, and certainly you can come on if you're late, but just know that we are going to record these sessions, that if you miss it, we still expect you to watch the recording, but that is not going to be nearly as fun as kind of watching it live. So with that, when you come on, be sure to be there at the scheduled time. Put your speakers on mute so we can't hear you, because you're not going to need to. The first part of the conversation is going to be all about hearing what the presenter has to say. So it'd be like going to the auditorium and listening to someone talk. Yeah, this is a very different auditorium. And then if you there, when you come on to Classroom, you've got these kind of two features that end up being in the like top. Let's see if I can do this. The top right over in this side, like on that side of your screen, you'll be able to see that there's a grid feature. Some of you have it, some of you don't. But that grid feature, if you have it on, pops up everyone's window across. And if you have it off, then it's only the person who's speaking pops up. And if the only person who's speaking is the person with the animal, well, that's going to be better for you because it's going to take up more of your screen and you'll get a closer view. If that person's just kind of like tiny on your screen and they've got an animal that's even tinier, it's just not going to be a good view. So the way to avoid that is to take your grid feature off. And then we will encourage you to ask questions. All those questions are going to be screened and really only seen by me and Miss Ford. Well, you all can see them, but Miss Ford is going to be the one who is navigating through those questions and posing a question to the person as long as we have time. And we'll try to get in as many unique questions as possible. So anyway, that's the etiquette for the Tuesday meetings, and a similar etiquette, though there won't be another person outside of the CMS community on there on Thursdays, but we'll also be doing live stuff on Thursdays too. So we expect the same kind of etiquette to follow.